Okay, now for the fun part. I'm going to take out this worm gear, which is always a pain. It was a pain on the 9-inch. What there is there's a keyway in here, which is stuck. There's the key, and yeah, that's got some wear. I don't know if you can see. You see the step worn in it? Alright, so that's wear. That's not a step key. That's wear. We'll fit this up to the shaft and see. We may need to make a new one of these. You can see it pretty good right there. So now, alright, so these are pinned in place. These collars, they screw on, but they're pinned. There's a pin right there. So it should drive through. Hopefully this doesn't give us, you can see the pin there. This doesn't give us too much trouble. Nope, she moved. Alright, make my smaller one. Do you hate when you can't find something and it ends up right under your face? Okay, so should unscrew. Okay, looking at this a little further when I got this off, there are two separate bushings. And I have the rebuild book, and they want you to pull these bushings out. I may or may not do that, but you can see the play we have, and there's actually wear in this collar, and that's from it taking the thrust of the carriage. And it's mostly going to be taking the thrust in this direction here towards the headstock, then this way. So there's a good ridge worn into this. So we may... Now I was looking at these, and these bushings here, they're cast iron. So may end up facing this and maybe moving one of the bushings out further, spreading them out, because I have a lot of meat on them, and that would take care of the thrust issue. Or I may go ahead and order a little bit of bronze and make them out of that, so it's a nice bearing surface. Again, you know, we'll come down to that later. So now let me go ahead and get this other one here out, and we'll get this whole worm out. So give me 2 seconds here. Okay, so knock that bushing right out of there. Okay, now there's a dowel pin right here. You can see that actually is what locates this worm. I'm going to keep those together. Okay, so I tried to get this other bushing off, but I can't. Now, what happened is, let me zoom you in. Okay, the taper pin, or the pin, is right there, where that blue dot is. The hole in the actual worm shaft here is right where this line is. So evidently it had snapped at some point and spun further on. Now I can't obviously drive that pin out and through, so what I'm going to have to do is take this shaft off here, which is just held in by a taper pin right here. Take this shaft off and pull the whole thing out this way. And I'm also going to mark these right and left so I know where they went back on. Now you can see here, you can see the wear on that. Now, like I said, this is just cast iron, so I'm wondering if maybe we'll go for some bronze and put that in and make new ones of these. And it looks like this worm gear, now on the 9-inch ones, and I'm not sure once I get this out, it looks like this worm gear is part of this whole shaft. On the 9-inch ones, the worm gear is pinned. The worm gear is separate from the shaft, just slides on it and it's held in with some pins. This looks like it's all one piece. So let me get this shaft out here. So like I said, it should be pretty easy. It's just a taper pin right there that holds it. So we go to the, you can see that that's the fatter end. I don't know if you can tell. That's the fatter end compared to that. So we're just going to drive that right out. Drive it right out. Alright, this one's going to fight me too, so give me a minute and I'll get this sucker out. Okay, so got that taper pin out. So we should be able to do, let's get this shaft right out of here. There's the gear. Now, hopefully, that will not clear. Damn it. That's not going to clear this. I had to figure out a way to get this off without destroying anything. You know, the only way I see you doing this is putting the collar back on here and holding it. You know, I'm gonna have to put some pecker marks on there. I mean, I got no other choice. I don't have a pin spanner that will hold that small. I need to turn this, so I'm gonna have to put this back on and hold it with a wrench and see if I can turn this. So I'm gonna do all that off camera because I'm gonna be fighting with this for a little bit and see if I can get this loose, or at least get those holes lined up again and see if I can get that pin out. Okay, so let me get just some light. I was able to hold both sides with channel locks and line up the hole and drive out what was left of the pin so it didn't mung up the threads as I undid it. And you can see that's the good pin and that's the bad pin, so you can see that it definitely did snap and it did come off in two pieces. Okay, see that? So this one's no good, but now I did put some pecker marks in there. I mean, I had no choice, so I mean we could polish those out. So this come off now. Left bushing. There's the worm. Okay, this is actually part of this. Like I said, on the 9-inch ones, this is pinned to the shaft. This worm is a separate piece. It's not a whole shaft like this. But, and then we can just drive this other side out. So you see the difference in the face of this compared to the face of this. You see that ridge? Most of your thrust is on this. Again, may just end up making our own. So we're going to tie these together. We'll tie these together so we got marked left and right, because these, and same thing with this. We'll just put this together for now. So we have those marked. Actually, that's the outside. Alright. So that may be, we may be making some new bushings for this. Okay, so we're going to flip her over to the other side again. This is a left-handed screw. I believe that's why that was really loose, so that's probably why my clutch wasn't working. Take that off. Unscrew the star wheel. Unscrew the retaining nut. Alrighty, so now here's your clutch mechanism. Relatively simple. So this holds into place. When you tighten that nut, it draws this in, which then draws these plates together and clamps everything together so that it drives. When you unscrew it, this face and this face slip and disengage. Very simple mechanism. I'm not exactly sure what that is. That was in there like that. I don't know what the purpose of that is. Let me see if I can find this in the book. I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, the book shows this as a washer, not like a gear tooth thing, and it's for oil distribution, and it just hangs right in there. Now, I'm not sure if it's supposed to be bent like that, though. I mean, you can see it's definitely bent. I don't know. I know somebody that has a very similar lathe and similar setup, so I'm gonna ask, and he's taking his apart, so I'm gonna ask him if his is like this, if his has this. You know, if his is flat or what it is, but I mean that just hangs right in there. Okay, if you don't have much to come off of here, there's another gear in there. Okay, so you should be able to just hold this shaft and slide the sucker right off. calling me a liar. Definitely hitting something. Oh, okay, there we go. That's what I'm hitting. And then the shifter, if I get it in the correct position here, that looks like it'll clear everything. Oh, come on. There it is. There it is. It's just a matter of getting that in the right position. There she be. And get rid of this lockout plunger. Yeah, it just slides on a peg right there. So now we can kind of just get this a little cleaned up a little bit and then work on either drilling out this taper pin or heating it up and trying to get it off. So, okay, I just wanted to show you the setup I had on the mill. So I got a little jack under here, the whole piece in the vise, and what I did, I was able to center up on it and drill straight through one side, and then I could just flip this over, use a square and line it vertically by eye, start it again on the other side and drill straight through and meet in the middle. Then I took a center drill and I relieved both ends into the cast. Usually what happens when these get stuck is one end gets mushroomed. So I relieved it into the cast on both sides and was able to drive the pin out. That loosened it up. You can see there's the hole straight down the center. And I didn't hit any of the cast iron, except on this outside edge where I relieved it to be able to punch it through. So now that handle's loose. We'll take that last piece off and then I can put it all in the sonic cleaner and clean the living crap out of it and let this stuff soak in some purple power. It'll probably eat the paint off also, which is a plus in my case. Okay, so everything is nice and clean. Our half nuts look actually pretty good. Not bad at all. I can go for that. Everything's nice and clean. The sump here, that's nice and clean. I used a nice sonic cleaner and everything. So just to reiterate issues that we have, keyway is worn. And you can see it's only worn on one side because that's where you get most of the thrust of the turning lead screw. So we'll have to remake one of these. This left-hand screw that holds the star wheel on there, I don't know how that happens, but it happened. So I'm going to have to remake that. And the biggest issue is this worm gear, the outside bushings. So you can see, like I said, you can see the wear on there. And the biggest issue is right here is where a felt wick goes up, and then inside the bushing, you can see I have no clearance there because this collar is worn into here. So what I may end up doing is remaking these, but making them out of some bronze, nice bearing material. So that way that'll eliminate a lot of the wear. The only thing I may not be able to do is put in the felt slot in there. I mean, it'd take a brooch to do that, and you know, I don't have any brooches, and you know, I don't want to go out and buy one and to try to do that and you know, spend a ton of money on it. So I may find out another way, but I really do want to remake these and then just clean these nuts up a little bit. The only thing is the faces aren't too bad. If I clean up the face and take material off of this, it's going to screw up my pinhole. So I don't know, but either way, I really want to remake these, and I would like to make it out of some nice bearing bronze. Now it's going to cost a little bit of money, but it's definitely, I think, worth the investment. So I think we're going to wait on that. We'll put all this stuff in a box, all these in bags, put this to the side, and we'll get to we'll repaint the apron. But before we put it together and before we get all this, I'm going to check out everything else just in case I need some other stock or anything like that. I can order it all at once. We can make all these parts at once. So that way there, I'm not just piecemealing everything. So these will sit out here to dry, and I'll put them in a box, label it with all the bits and pieces, and we'll go on to the next step. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see you on the next one.